Good evening, and welcome to this edition of Sports Fall Talk. I'm Bethany Fuller, your host for tonight, and tonight I'm joined by the Foxborough High School volleyball team captains. I have Rachel Dutra and Jessica Whitney here with me. They're very excited because, as you can see, they're in uniform. They just got back from a game. And you guys won?
Yeah.
Okay, who'd you guys play?
Mansfield.
And the score of the game?
Well, we beat them in 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so it came right down to the last minute. Excellent. Very exciting. And what's your record so far this year? Both in the Hockomock League and just...
For the Hockomock League, we're 3-3.
Very nice.
And for the whole thing, we're 4-6 now.
Oh, okay. So you guys are not doing bad at all then. Not doing bad. If you guys can just introduce yourselves. You're both seniors, correct?
Yep.
And what position do you play?
Front row hitter.
Okay. Yeah, you're tall, so it's appropriate.
I play back row and front row.
Okay.
Actually,
Excellent.
yeah.
And you're both seniors. Do you guys know where you're going to go to school yet? Have you looked into schools or?
I'm thinking about it, yeah.
Kind of, yeah.
Have you decided if you're going to play when you get to school, or is that going to depend on where you go? And
Yeah.
It depends
I
on
want to
where.
try, yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
All right, not bad. Can you give some of the viewers at home who don't really know exactly how volleyball is played, because it's not just like, you know, another game where it's this many minutes long. It's a little bit different. So can you kind of introduce our audience to the flow of the game and how it works?
Yeah. Well, in a game, there's the 5 matches, and it's the best out of...
Best 3 out of 5.
Best 3 out of 5,
Yeah.
okay. And how do you get to those? How do you get a win? I guess.
Well...
You play up to 25 points. Yeah, but you have to win by 2.
Okay.
So, yeah, you can keep going until for a while. But
so that your score always has to be, you know, it can be 25-23.
You're right.
But it couldn't be 24-25?
Right, yeah,
Okay.
you have to win by 2.
Okay. And from the preseason until now, I know you guys have an older team. I think you guys said 8 seniors on the team.
Yeah.
What have you guys been working on? What has been the biggest maybe struggle for you?
Just fundamentals, really, because we just got Coach Damus back to working with us, and we kind of just started over from where we were, just started everything new again. So we're just working on fundamentals like passing and our hitting.
Yeah, and getting that together.
Yeah.
And I know ideally you want in the game, you want a bump, which is the initial hit when the ball comes over. You want to set to your hitter to hit it. How hard is that? Because I know it's not easy
hard.
as 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, especially if it's a hard serve coming over. It's hard to get that pass good to the setter, and then
it all
It's so tough as a hitter because I can't play back row, so I just watch and I feel bad because it's tough.
How do you practice that in practice? Is it, you know, do you practice like 1, 2, 3? Do you practice how do you?
Yeah, every drill has like a 1, 2, 3 to it, so we get the motions of it. We do a lot of just serving at us, and then we just bump it up. It's like the best way to practice. It's like game-like.
Do you think your practices? How do you think practices go? I mean, is it just the 1, 2, 3 type practice? Is it strength conditioning? Like, what type of practices do you have?
We do a lot of quick feet because
like ladder drills. Yeah.
And,
Quickness.
Yeah, because
stuff like that.
Volleyball is definitely a sport you always have to be on your feet.
Yeah.
Right? And you learn very quickly. You know, the court looks so small when you're looking at it,
but it's so big when you're out there.
Yeah. And you have to make sure you don't miss it.
Yeah.
And I know one thing that because I used to play both in high school and in college, you always have to follow the ball to the line. Can you?
Yeah.
You know, when someone's serving to you and you see this ball coming and you're saying, I can get it, and then all of a sudden you can't.
Yeah.
How do you
so
practice for that?
You just have to run straight to the line every time. Just have it in your head that if it's close, you just have to play it.
Right.
Yeah, play everything.
Play everything. Okay. Is that kind of your team?
Yeah.
Team approach to it?
We try to make it that.
Yeah.
This year, maybe as opposed to any other year, have any players come out and shocked you? Any of your teammates? I know you guys are the team captains, but have you guys
a lot of
seen
people have improved,
really?
yeah.
And
Stopa
which
especially.
Brittany Stopa.
Okay.
Amanda Martin has improved a lot.
And then we've been pretty good, too.
We've all been playing through the summer and stuff, so. Danielle Tacey had a good game today hitting.
Yeah.
In which ways do you think they improve? Is it more of a, you know, their technique, or is it more how they fit in with the team, or what do you think is?
Yeah, like their position on the team, definitely.
Their technique. Well, we're like a pretty tight team, with each other. We're all friends with each other.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
When the season's not even happening. So
yeah. And that's another thing. You know, I mentioned you guys mentioned the quick feet, and you guys do a lot of that kind of stuff in volleyball, maybe more than some other sports. You need that communication.
Yeah,
constant
you really
communication.
need to.
And how do you work on that? I mean, you guys said you're close, so does that help?
Sometimes it's worse because it's hard to criticize a friend.
Okay.
And
yeah.
they take it just so personally sometimes that
Yep.
like you don't know what to do. You want to help their game, but
Right.
you don't want to hurt
Yeah.
them at the same time.
Right. And
But-
how, oh, go ahead.
Oh no, that, yeah.
No, I was going to say, as a leader of the team, then how do you kind of form who's saying what to who and how they're saying it, or do you? You know what I mean? Do you?
You just gotta like stay positive with everything you say. Like
Yeah.
you can
Right.
be like, yeah, just go to that one next time, but you can't like get down on them for it. But you just gotta be
Right.
like, all right, nice job, but
Yeah.
just go run to the line. Or
Bring out the positives and the
Yeah.
negatives,
So it's very encouraging, it seems.
yeah.
yeah.
That's always good. I did watch one of your games. I was there with Foxborough Cable Access, actually. They filmed it,
Yeah.
and I noticed you guys were very good with the back to the communication thing. You know, you guys would be scrambling around, and all of a sudden, you guys would, out of nowhere, you'd be like, oh, this great play, and we're
Yeah.
like, where'd that come from? We didn't expect that, you know?
Yeah, it
So-
gets hectic sometimes,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
You
we
guys
make
seem-
it work.
Exactly. You seemed well under pressure, and I'm assuming that's a lot of the communication.
Yeah.
What do you think, from both your standpoints, what has improved for you the most, would you say, this year? Did you come in with a goal saying, I want to get all my serves in, or I want to get every single hit that I can, or?
For me, it was a little bit of everything, like just fundamentals and stuff.
Right.
Just I had the experience, and then I just needed to play with the confidence. So,
Yeah.
still working on that.
My hitting front row, I never hit front row last season really,
Oh, okay.
but because I'm like only 5'4", but
Yeah.
I practice my jumping in the off season so I can play like the whole game
Mhm.
now. So I was working on that a lot.
Yeah, and it's easier when you're a lot taller to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
to get that. What type of jumping techniques did you practice?
Every day I'd touch this, like just reach for my ceiling 150 times like in a row.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. That's endurance right there.
Yeah.
I mean, I know you guys two, kind of going back to what your personal goals were, but knowing the girls in the team and being friends with them, did that influence kind of your goals? Like, do you almost put more pressure on yourself because you want to do good for your teammates, or?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, because I knew that we have a really tall team.
right.
So it made me
right.
really want to step it up so I could
Yeah.
play the front row too.
Yep. What would you say the biggest strength of the team is? I mean, other than being close knit, and other than what do you guys think your biggest, be it on the court, off the court? What do you think your biggest strength is?
Probably like our hitting. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Front
Good
row
strong
and
hitting.
back row.
Yeah.
We're good back row hitting too.
Okay. And how does that work? I know there's certain rules with a back row hit.
So there's like a 10-foot line.
Yep.
And that's like 5 feet off the net.
Mhm.
And if you're back row, you cannot jump in front of that line. So you have
Okay.
to just make sure
Yep.
you jump before it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't understand either that there is a back row and
Yeah.
a front row hitting. It gets
Yeah.
a little confusing there. What do you guys do in terms of building up team strength and teamwork? And do you guys do any like psych things, or do you guys, anything you do like before a big game to get excited and pumped up?
Yeah, we've done like psych bags and
Have you? Okay.
just
Yeah.
dressing spirited.
Team
and
dinners.
Yeah.
And we like make
Yeah.
T-shirts with each other and like write crazy jokes on
Yeah.
all of them and stuff.
We have like a little sister on the JV team,
Oh, okay.
and we like include them too and
Okay.
do stuff with each other.
Do the JV players come up at all, or is it pretty much just the varsity is the varsity? And
No, we have 2 JV girls swinging now. This
Oh,
is like
okay.
their first year playing
Okay.
too. And
Yeah.
one of them, Nikki Kamo, actually
Mm-hmm.
gets pretty decent playing time. She played tonight too.
okay.
Yeah.
She's the setter on JV, so.
Yep. Just lost my train of thought, so I guess I want to answer that question. Looking right now, too, as a team as a whole, what are you guys looking to improve on? I know you guys said your goals earlier, but as a team as a whole, what do you think? I know you guys have had some problems with your serves in the past. Coach Damish has talked about them.
Yeah.
Is that still a problem? Are you, what's...
It is a little. Today we had trouble serving,
Okay.
but
But when we're on with serves, we're really strong.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just when we're not.
Yeah.
And how does that affect, because I know if you don't get the serve over, it's very hard to get any points. So how
Yeah.
does that affect?
Like if people miss a serve, they get really down on themselves, and then like
Yeah.
they mess up the next point, and it just like it just
Kinda
get
spirals.
upset. Yeah.
I think that's something we're good at though, like picking each other up after something.
Like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes we just get really down, but everybody's there to cheer you up, high five you,
Yeah.
even if you do bad.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's good. That's encouraging too for
Yeah.
both you guys and other players. What if, kind of on that same subject, if you guys fall down 0-2 in the matches, and suddenly you guys you have to win or else
Yeah.
you lose altogether. How do you guys what kind of things does Coach maybe say to you, or what kind of things do you say to each other during the breaks in between?
Well, he's pretty intense sometimes.
He always brings up, this is the point in our career where we need to step it up. Like, if we want to win the matches, like, that's his, like...
Yeah, he's like, now's the time to take it to the next level. If you want it or not, you got to prove that you want it. Yeah.
So it's prove that you want it type attitude.
Yeah.
Do you, is it the same kind of thing when you go from being up 2 matches and then all of a sudden the other team comes in and takes that one, and it shocks you and you guys, oh no, they just got
that happened today.
Yep.
Actually, yeah.
I mean, how do you get back from that type of situation?
You just got to focus and get right down to it and be like, don't let it slip away this time. Like, you didn't win the first 2 to lose the next 3.
Right.
That definitely happened today. We
that's
lost it
yeah.
the third, and we're like, okay,
step it up.
Yeah.
And what do you think happens between that second and third, the second and third game that you just, is it the focus? Do you guys think you lose focus, or is it?
We get almost like too confident. Like okay, we just won 2, this is nothing. But you still got to bring it every time.
Right. Do you think you're confident going into every game?
No. Like, if we know a team,
I think that's a no.
if we know they're like 4-1, then we're always like, I don't want to do this.
Or if they have, like, if they're known to be good, then we're like,
What teams are known to be good?
North Attleboro.
And Franklin.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what, when I was in high school, too.
Yeah.
I was playing, that's what the teams were, too. Have you guys played them yet?
Yeah.
Okay.
They're both beatable teams this year, though, and we just go in with that mentality.
Yeah.
We played North last Friday, and it was one of our best games. Like, we didn't have any dropped balls, and our hitting was on. Our serving was not very well.
Yeah.
We could have won that. Yeah.
Is it, when the other team's missing their serves, how does that help you guys? Does that, give you a little bit more to work off of?
Because it just keeps giving us the points and us more chances to serve and get points back.
And you guys had mentioned a little bit earlier, too, you have that good height up front. How does that help? I mean,
we get hitting and blocking.
Yeah, the blocks. We can get a lot of touches on the balls. Yep. And the hitting. We can hit down on it.
Yep.
Yeah.
What do you feel, we talked about some difficult teams. You guys said North Attleboro and Franklin. What do you feel you're able to beat your opponents at? Even if you don't come out with a win, do you feel that you meet up to them, or do you feel you beat them in the digs or the hits or do you feel like there's ever a time where you lose a game but you come out saying, well, we just did really well?
Yeah, North. I think we didn't have any drop balls, and that's like a big thing in volleyball. Not one of those balls dropped. We definitely beat them in digs because they let a lot of the balls drop.
Yeah.
And, go ahead.
Oh, something that Coach always says, like, we have the, same skill,
Yeah, we have the same skill level as the other team, so we just need to bring it. Or something like that.
Yeah. So it's kind of almost goes back to that being focused type thing.
Yeah.
And what do you feel maybe your strongest point is then for some of those games? Do you think it's your offense or your defense?
Defense.
Up at the front or being...
Yeah.
Probably defense.
Yeah.
Or offense. It's kind of both. It's
because they kind of all mesh together almost.
Depends on how people are playing that day. If they're having a good game or a bad game.
Right. And kind of, we've talked a lot about the serving. How do you can sit there and watch a game and say, how did she miss, when the opponent's serving, how did she miss that serve? What's it like when you're standing there and there's 6 of you on
and so nerve-wracking.
And all of a sudden this ball's flying at you. I mean, what goes through your mind when that happens?
It's so nerve-wracking. Coach always tells us not to think about it, so he tells us to think of math problems as the ball's coming at you.
See, that would confuse me more.
Yeah.
Are there any players who have, on the opposing teams, when they send over a serve, you're like, oh, this is going to be so easy, and then you get that ball and you try and bump it, and it goes flying into the...
It's like Nicole Maddie from North Attleboro. Her serves, they have a lot of power to them, but then they have this spin on it.
Yep.
So when you bump it, it just goes in absolutely crazy directions.
Just like the girl from Norton.
Yeah, there's a girl from Norton that does that too. And then they're the servers where they're coming, and then they're coming, and all of a sudden they just drop right down because they got that spin on it and just drops right down. You're like, where'd it just go?
How do you guys feel you do? I know I saw a few of these when I watched the game. When someone's hitting the ball over and it comes and it falls kind of right at almost that 10-foot line, and it's kind of a sprint. How do you guys feel? But do you think you handle them well, or
once we see it the first time, that's something we're trying to work on, adjusting to get to the 10-foot line and get those.
It's all about where you stand. If you're not in that right spot, there's no chance you're going to get the ball. Yeah.
And again, for some people who may not know, you guys wear knee pads, and you guys dive on the floor a lot, correct?
Yeah.
To try and save as many as you can.
Yeah.
And is there a proper way to do that? I mean, you're
You're actually not supposed to use your knee pads. Like most of the
supposed
college
to land
teams.
on the stomach.
Yeah, you're supposed to land on your stomach fully.
So they're just there to protect the knees.
Yeah, because we don't really know how to just land on your stomach.
Yep. How long have you guys been playing volleyball? For the 4 years in high school? And
we both actually started our sophomore year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So 2 years. All right, excellent. And do you like it so far?
Yeah.
You sound like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
Yeah. What's your favorite part of it, I guess? Do you have a favorite part?
Mine's definitely hitting.
Kidding.
I really like, because I get up there and everybody's like looking at me because I'm so little, but then I can jump, so I get up there and I can hit it down at them.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's fun.
Do you guys play, kind of backtracking now from the season, going into preseason, what type of preseason stuff do you do? Do you practice over the summer?
We both did Metro West, like Juniors League.
And what is that exactly?
It's just like an AAU basketball team type thing, like kids from everywhere.
Oh, all right. So it's like a
local travel teams.
Yeah.
Okay. Must have been interesting then to work with other,
Yeah.
rather than just your immediate team.
Yeah.
And we see them at like the games.
Yeah.
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 Oh, okay.
It's fun.
Excellent. And do you are there any players that you look up to maybe? Even from those leagues that you've played in, other than just that, or you're at a game and you say, how do you kind of take what they're doing and try and turn it into one of your strengths? Can you do that, do you think? Is it possible?
Yeah. I remember watching like some of the better teams during Metro West, and their hitting was just amazing, and like it's what I tried to do.
Has that worked, do you think?
It helped, yeah. But
what kind of how do you practice to hit? Because you don't just go up there and just swing it, right? There's got to be something else to it.
There's like a 3-foot approach to it, so we'll practice our footwork on that.
Yeah. And then hitting down on the ball is a big one.
Yeah.
Like
getting
so it doesn't
above
go
the
out.
net. Yeah.
Yeah. And where do you try and aim when you're hitting a ball? Where's like the ideal spot to hit the ball?
You can go angle like across the court, or on the line like straight.
Okay.
Wherever they're not defending, you want to aim. Because sometimes they really cover angle, or sometimes they really cover line. So whichever they're not at.
You want to try and find that hole. Do you think when you're up at the front, do you think you are able to kind of adjust and at the time that it's happening be able to see that line and be able to know?
Yeah, it's good because sometimes the back row player will like call it to you like, oh, line's always open, because when you're kind of hitting it, all you're looking at is the ball, so you can't really tell like exactly where the other team's at. Right. But they'll tell you, like, your teammates will help you and be like, yeah, line's wide open.
Today she helped me. And I missed the hit, but I was aiming for line.
Yeah.
But that's good though, because it comes back to that communication where you guys are able to, you trust each other enough that someone's gonna tell you what's going on. The other thing I noticed that some people who've watched games might not know is they call it free.
Yeah.
When you guys are screaming that, what exactly does that mean?
Well, when you hit the ball, it's hitting. But then if someone just passes the ball over the net any other way besides hitting, it's considered free.
Because it comes over so slow. Yeah. So we adjust off the net and get ready for it, like just
to try and bump it.
Yeah, it's like gentle. It's easier usually.
How do you guys feel that? Who's your setter on your team? Do you have one setter? Do you have a few different setters? Or
Michelle Cameron is our setter.
And do you guys feel like you can always get it to the? Does she always get to the ball? Are you guys helping her out? Or
because she gets to almost everyone.
Yeah, she's really good at that.
Yeah.
But sometimes our passing is just way off, so like she has to call help. Kills her to call help sometimes though, because she really just wants to get to that second ball. But
and help, that's just like another way of saying
like I can't get there.
Okay. Yeah. Someone help me out. Okay. That's good. So do you guys play either? Do you guys like rotate positions? Can you just kind of, because I mean you play a lot of front, but do you play in the back as well?
No, when when a hitter usually gets to the back row, they sub in the back row player. Okay. But there's a couple on the team who play the whole thing.
Okay. And is that what you?
Yeah, I play the whole thing. So I start in the back row, but when I get to the front, I keep playing. Okay. Because naturally, when like the back row players get to the front, somebody taller will come in for them and hit.
So do the hitting. Okay. Yeah. And there's certain substitution rules, correct?
That, you can only like sub in for the same person.
So many times.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I don't even really know.
Okay.
I switched with the libero.
Libero. Yeah.
But you can rotate in whenever you need to, correct?
Well, she has to go in and come out for like the same person at the same time or something.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. It's
Yeah, I think it's like whenever you go back to the back line, she can come in for you.
Yeah.
yeah.
And kind of the last question, more also related to the actual game and how the court's set up. Do you guys have different? You guys have like different formations, correct? It's like 4-2, 5-1.
Yeah.
What do you guys prefer? Like your personal preference, or which do the team prefer? Do you think?
It's a 6-1 it's called, right? We don't like giving names.
Yeah.
With
I
just
know.
the
I
one
know what
setter.
it's called.
We
Yeah.
like that.
Okay.
We just keep the one setter, and then usually the 3 returning in the back row.
Okay. Yeah. So that's when you have like the 3 in the back and then the 3 up front on a
Right.
serve. On a serve return.
Yeah.
Okay. Excellent. And that pretty much does it for us today. So, like I had said before, you guys don't intend on playing it. You know, you see where you go to college
Yeah.
and see
Yeah.
how you do it. But I know that I love volleyball, and whenever I get a chance to play a pickup game, I do. And I'm sure you guys
Yeah.
will do
Yeah.
the same thing because you seem to love it. So, stick with it. You guys do look good this year, and you know the records that you guys have. It doesn't always, you know, you guys kind of got a little down when you had to say it, but it doesn't always mean anything. And you guys look like you're showing great improvement. So. Should be very
Yeah.
good. So thank you for joining us again today,
Yeah.
girls. We appreciate it. Thank you again to all the Foxborough Cable Access volunteers for their help to get this production up and going. For Fall Sports Talk, I'm Bethany Fuller, and have a great night.